Is it Jesus? It was somebody. Equal Kigamil, I am my equal Kigamil, I am my equal Kigamil, I am my oh, yeah, my Jesus, give me my is it Jesus? Give me somebody.
Okay, that's I Am Ma by Frank Edwards. His recently released song. And I'm a fan of Frank Edwards, and I say that a lot. And this song, I love it. I love it. So when he released it, I quickly jumped on checking on it, and this is beautiful. And I'm actually playing it from Audio Mac. So yeah, that's where I'm actually playing this song from. There are other places you could play it from, and you could actually also purchase a song, but it's available on Audio Mac where you can play it there. So I really love this song, and there's also a YouTube version. The video was added as well. If you want to watch that, you could go to his YouTube channel and watch it. So this is I Am Ma by Frank Edwards, and I just wanted to play it because it's very recent and I love it. And even though I would have looked for a song that will match today's topic, I just wanted to play this, like I said, because it's recent and because I love it. If you have counted how many times I've said that, you know it's up to like 3 or 4 times. Okay, without saying much again, let's ride into the intro talk. Okay, hello and welcome to another episode on Roastcast. Nice and great and happy to have you here listening to this podcast. Welcome. So let me confess, I wasn't planning on doing this topic, but on retrospect, this topic popped into my heart while I was just meditating and thinking, because I already planned I wasn't going to make a topic, but then something triggered this topic coming up, and I felt okay, I'm just going to share a little bit on it, and by God's grace, if there be need to build on this topic in the future, good and fine. But for now, this will be what I'll be able to share. And if there are other places where you could get better and you could get a deeper perspective, then good and fine. However, I'll confess that I wasn't planning to make a podcast within this period of time, but like I said, I didn't put a firm stand. I really wanted to make a podcast for this month. I was really hoping to make a podcast, but I didn't want to make, like, when you're in that place where you are just in between two places, and then at some point you just realize that, okay, I'm going to do this. That's where I was. And this topic was inspired by certain thoughts that came into my heart. And yes, this topic is for anyone that feels, both those that feel they are big, both those that feel they are small, both those that believe in themselves, and both those that don't. And it's also for those that believe in themselves sometimes, and sometimes they don't believe in themselves. This topic is for you. And yes, I do believe you are going to be blessed. So let's ride into today's topic. Now, this is the truth, and this is my observation. Many of us want to make impact. Now, whether our desire to make impact is for selfish reasons or we are doing it out of selflessness, most people want to make impact. However, impact is determined by who defines what impact is. So impact is literally influencing others. Now, I'm not using dictionary definition, I'm just using from what I understand by impact. It's influencing others, and it could be a good influence or a bad influence. However, to a great extent, I do believe many people want to impact others. And like I said, it could be for selfish reasons, it could be for selfless reasons. Now, sometimes selfish reasons may be generally categorized as doing it for the sake of monetary benefits, or or doing it for the sake of getting a fan base, becoming popular. And yes, that could be part of the definition of selfish reasons. However, this is not completely true, because even when you are impacting selflessly, these things could come as a benefit, but they probably was not your major reason desiring to impact people. Now, when it comes to impact, I do think that everyone has a level or a cycle in which they impact people. I don't think there is just anyone that does not have any form of impact on anyone. So it depends on the cycle that you are in, and it depends on the amount of people that are in your cycle, and it depends on how much they are receiving what you are giving. But I'll say that everybody has a level of impact, but actually impact depends on what you define it as, and this is determined by what you are seeking to gain from impact, or what you are seeking to achieve from impact, or what you are seeking to achieve by impacting other people. So on this basis, all of us can have our own different definition for impact. But like I said, we all impact people. It just depends on the cycle and on the number of people that you are impacting. Now, when we talk about cycle is very relative. Cycle also, it depends on what you consider as a cycle. Some people are very closeted. They don't want large crowds. They are more like within just a group, few people are around their environment. However, cycle you can have your own personal definition of what cycle means to you, and your impact defines what a cycle means. Now, what I'll define cycle as are the people around you that are benefiting from what you are doing. So you're actually the one giving out, and they're the one getting from you. Now, I'm not talking about cycle of friends. This topic is about impact, so that's where I'm going to. So it depends on, it's defined as, I'm defining cycle as the people around you that are benefiting from what you are giving out. Now, cycle could be small, cycle could be big, and cycle could be unknown, because sometimes for those that are impacting a small cycle of people, sometimes you may not know that it is much more than what you are seeing. Now, cycle could be physical to what you are seeing, like it could just be within a number of people that you can see, and there are also numbers that you can't see. There are other people you can't see. And why am I saying this is that in the area when you are impacting people, sometimes many people may never give you a feedback on what you are doing, but it doesn't mean that what you are doing is not impacting them. It doesn't mean that if they are not really deeply blessed by what you are doing. But the truth and funny thing is that most times some people may not reach out. So the number of people that may reach out to share that you have impacted them may be small, and for you, that is the number you are looking at. And then there are people that actually their cycle is large, because yes, the amount of responses they get in response to what they do, in the impact they give, is large. So even as much as they too may have unknown, that means people who do not let them know, the people they are seeing, tangible amount of people they are seeing is large. I'll give as an example. There was someone that I recently read his book from a conference he organized. I got joined that link on Facebook, and there was a free ebook he gave talking about leadership, and I never gave back. There was no place to give feedback and I did not give a feedback, but I would say that book blessed me a lot. It blessed me a lot, and I was reviewing that and reflecting on myself as well. I have a blog, and there are things that I have shared there, things that I believe that are blessed, that are deeply rich, and they will bless anyone that reads them. But in most of the times, I do not get the feedback I'm looking for. I do not really get the response I'm getting. I'm hoping to get. I'm being sincere, but the truth is that when I reflect back, I'm like, there's a great probability that there are people who have encountered these things and never give a feedback, even though it blessed them. So the thing is that when you are able to identify the cycle that you are impacting, or you're able to just appreciate the cycle that you are impacting, it helps you to move forward. Now, why am I saying this is that yes, is there something wrong in having an ambition to impact a great cycle of people? But if your cycle has been small, or people that have reached out to you has been small, there's a tendency to get very sad, to feel that you are not impacting people the much that you want. Now, there are many steps that you can take. You can keep working on increasing your reach. This will need research, reading, and making more effort and doing more than you are doing. Or you can decide to be depressed about your outcome. Yes, you can decide to be depressed, become ungrateful, become sad, and actually stop what you are doing. Now, the people that may be benefiting from what you are sharing, the impact you are making, will lose out, and at the same time you will lose out in the long run, because when you impact other people for good, you are actually benefiting as well. Why am I saying this? Is that you never know what you are doing, how far, and how you don't know what it can do for you in the future. Now, I already said that some people are selfish when they are impacting other people. Yes, but I'm not coming from that direction. You should know by now. Okay, if you did not know, let me say it. Yes, I'm not coming from the selfish point of view. I'm coming from a place of sincerely wanting to impact people in the healthy way, impact people in the right way. So I just want to say that if your cycle is not as much or as large as you are hoping it to be, maybe you felt you have put much effort and you've not seen a lot of response or feedback. I just say don't get discouraged. Don't stop what you are doing as long as you know what you are doing is healthy. However, for the small cycle that you have, for the small feedbacks that you get, kindly acknowledge and be grateful for them. Now, what determines the longevity of your impact depends on the source, and that's why I made an emphasis on selflessness. Now, as a believer in Jesus Christ, as a Christian, I always base what I do from the point of my relationship with the Lord. I'm always very sensitive to ask the Holy Spirit to guide me in whatever I do, because I'm not looking at the point of me pouring out, but I'm actually also looking at the longevity of what I'm doing. Impacting other people is sowing a seed in their lives, and if you're not sowing a seed, you are watering a seed. So the longevity of what you are doing depends on what is your source for impacting other people. I've said it a lot of times to my close friends, and I'm like, there are certain people who died many years ago, 50, 60 years ago. However, the books that they wrote, the messages that they preached, still blesses me today. And sometimes when I'm reading the things that they wrote, when I'm listening to the messages that they preached, I feel like they are still here with me. They are still in my era. They are still alive. But for me, I could pinpoint the value of what they gave out because of the source where it's coming from. Now, it doesn't mean only good things. It doesn't mean that only good things have longevity. Some of the terrible wars that we have had in this world were a product of people engaging in very dangerous and destructive principles. When you go through Hitler, Stalin, and some of these very terrible world leaders, most of the things that they read as their sources were very dangerous books. And funny enough, some of the people that wrote these books were not into the much evil that these other people committed. And for me, that showed me the strength of impact. So even evil things can last for a very long time, but the opposite is that they cause destruction. People die because of a wrong mindset, a wrong principle. Then how much more should a healthy impact cause? So a healthy impact should cause life and growth. So healthy impact is dependent on the source, and for me, my source is the Holy Spirit. My source is the Lord, and that is what I base on. And so when your foundation of where your sourcing is coming from a healthy place, you are rest assured that even after you are gone, you are producing good fruits on earth. And I think that's a very good way for someone to think about creating impact. This is in contrast to when you are creating impact from a selfish point of view, from just what you can gain. Like you are pouring out things because you are focused so much on what you can gain, either monetary or fan base, like fandom or becoming popular. Over time, these things will we go off, they will die off, because the reality of life is that nobody stays popular for too long. People get easily bored, and if what you are sharing out in content is very similar to what people do, is actually selfish, because is over time these things they will display their fruit. They will become evident as to what they are. People will get bored and people will move on. Okay, I'm just saying. What I'm saying is that being popular doesn't last for too long, because it doesn't last for the people get bored and they want something new. So when you are trying to create an impact, you have to create from a long-term point of view. You don't have to think about only what you can gain from that, from what you are trying to create an impact for now. If you're starting an NGO, what are you thinking about this NGO? What is your 10 years plan? What are you envisioning for starting that NGO? If you're starting a community, what are you envisioning for that community? Are you envisioning because you are planning to get only grants from other bodies, or you are planning to be boast about it? I know this is something that a bit cheesy and all that, but what I'm saying is that whatever you're planning to create or start as an impacting platform, always think about it from its long-term and point of view, and let your source come from a healthy point of view, because it's only time that will tell what your source is, and the strength of your source determines how long your impact will last. Now, the truth is that while you are impacting others, you have to be impacted as well. You don't have to be the only one giving out, because sometimes that can be a sign of pride. It means that you are not willing to learn from anyone. But as you are giving to others, let it be that you also have a source you are getting from, and these sources come in the form of reading books, listening to older people, getting to people that are older than you, wiser than you in that area, even listening to your peers. If you have wise peers, listening to them. Like, don't just focus on I only want to impact the world, whereas you do not have anyone impacting you. That is not healthy at all. In the past few years, as I've been growing in my relationship with God, and I have been defining and redefining what I want to do with my life, I would say that there are certain books that I've read that has really helped me. There are certain people that I have given more attention to, and I would say that consciously and subconsciously, I realized that my output, my style of sharing to the world in form of writing, in form of even this podcast, I realized it has been shaped over time as I have been giving myself to this, to the works of these people. For example, E.G. Watchman Nee, he was a Bible study. His style of writing and teaching was Bible study format, and being someone that really loves Bible study, as I've studied some of his books, I've realized that I could really relate to his style of writing, and consciously and unconsciously, I have seen it influence the way I have shared in the last 1 year. If you're not following my blog, if you click the link on this podcast, it will to send you directly there, and you could see my write-ups and everything that I've shared, even in books, in form of books as well, and you understand what I'm trying to say. So also be impacted, please. Also be impacted. You cannot be the only one impacting everyone. You cannot be the only one who comes to a place and you want impact. You want to show people the way, whereas there is nobody you are learning from. So those who impact others learn from others. And like I said, source is important. This is also part of source. The source of your impact, it determines your longevity. Now, the people that impact you can also contribute to how long what you are doing will last. So if you have the right people that you listen to, you read, people that can advise you, people that can encourage you, people that can like to push you forward, it determines how long what you are doing will last. In Isaiah chapter 8 verse 18, Isaiah there was saying that, "Behold, I and the children that the Lord has given me are for signs and wonders." So I'm just seeing this as it's God's plan that we make impact. It's God's plan that we do great things. In Daniel chapter 11 verse 32b, it says that they that know their God, they shall be strong and do exploits. Now, yes, most of us may have big ambitions. I also have my ambitions, I'm being honest. But yes, we may have ambitions of what we want to accomplish with our lives. And if you're already doing that, great, I'm so happy for you. If you are still on the journey like I am, if you are still starting like I am, I just want to say, don't get discouraged and just realize that it is God's plan that wherever you are creating a healthy and positive impact. And that's why Rosecast was created. It was created to create a positive impact. And also, whatever I'm doing, I'm always very intentional to make sure that what I'm pouring out would bless the person that listens. I don't claim to be perfect. I don't claim to know it all, but I know that what I'm sharing is coming from the right source. So from these passages that I read, I know that it's God's will and desire that anyone called by his name would be a source of good influence wherever they are. So like I said, big cycle, small cycle. If you are dreaming for a big cycle and you are still in the small cycle, one day by God's grace you get to the big cycle, but just continue where you are and don't get discouraged. Now I'm saying this because I get discouraged sometimes, and sometimes I actually get discouraged frequently. But when I was reflecting on this topic, I just paused and I realized that I needed to be more grateful for the things that God has helped me to achieve over the years. Yes, like I was saying, even though sometimes I felt that I needed more feedbacks than I got, I realized that at least you were able to do this thing. If the feedback has not come the way you want, it will certainly come. And like I said, even if people may not tell me how much it has blessed them, I do believe it has blessed them. So I just want to encourage you, if you are creating a healthy, positive impact where you are and you're not getting the feedback that you want, you have to pause and ask yourself, why am I doing this in the first place? And if you have been motivated by the right source, I just want to encourage you, please don't stop. Please don't stop. The truth is that someone is being blessed by what you do, and they may not tell you now, they may tell you in the future. And if they don't tell you, at least you planted a good seed. Just imagine the good things that you are doing and how much it could change the world at a greater scale. Imagine somebody encountering your content or encountering you, and their lives are blessed, and they go to a place and they cause a change. To me, I think that's one of the best ways we can cause a difference in our world. So I just want to use this part to say that it is God's desire that we do great things. It is God's desire that we do exploit in a healthy way. It's God's desire that we create impact. And without understanding our mind, wherever we go, we're actually intentional with the way we do things. And we keep on moving on and keep on trusting God. And importantly, like I said about source, trusting that God will give you the inspiration, the Holy Spirit will give you inspiration. I'm saying this as a believer, I'm saying this as a Christian. So if you are listening to this and you are not yet a Christian, I won't say you should pardon me, but I'm just saying that this is the tone and line of this podcast. So as a Christian, as a believer, the Holy Spirit will inspire you on what to do, the creative things for you to do in order to create more a healthy impact. Inspiration is so important when creating impact. When you are trying to be new, when you're trying to bring up things that will enrich people's lives better, you need inspiration. And as a Christian, as a believer, I always trust the Holy Spirit to give me the inspiration, and God never fails. It always drops in my heart beautifully. And sometimes I may be sluggish, but God is very merciful, and He just gives me the strength and grace to pull through with the things He puts in my heart. So I believe the same with you as well. And let me just add this: if you're not a Christian, I'm not going to discourage you from listening to this podcast, because I know that the things that I shared here will still bless you. But I want to say that yes, the themes and everything I'll say here are in line with the Christian perspective. However, every other thing that will be said here will bless you as well. So I just want to say this so you don't stop listening to this podcast, or you just say, oh, it's only for Christians. I just want to tell you here that everything that has been said here will still bless you if you listen attentively. Okay, yes, I do believe they will bless you. So please, inspiration is important. However, inspiration also is determined by what your source is. However, wherever you are, it is paramount that you are creating a healthy impact, dear. Now, this brings me to talk about the tools for impact. Most of the things that many of us struggle with is I don't have the available tools to create impact. Maybe what you need, what you want to do needs a lot of money, needs a lot of devices and all that. I've been there and I'm still there. I just want to say that start with what you have. That's the advice that many people say, and I'm telling you that it's realistic. Start with what you have. Don't limit yourself because you don't have everything that you want. There is a place to start. There is a way to start. Just start with it. Like I already said, be inspired and allow the Holy Spirit to inspire you on how to do it. He will give you the grace, he will give you the wisdom, and with time you can build on what you want to, on the things that you may need. With time you will build with them, you will build for them, or you will save for them, or you will prepare for them, and they will come. But just start, because if you don't start, you may look back with regret that at least you didn't start something. So start as God is laying in your heart, and with time more tools will come. But if you have the tools available for you, that is good for you. Don't waste any more time and move on. So with that being said, I just want to say that I'm grateful to God for everything. If you've not listened to the congratulatory note released on the 1st of this month, I want to encourage you that please go listen. There are some announcements that I made there, and I believe it will be reasonable for you, to be helpful for you, especially if you are a regular listener on this platform. And also I want to say that thankfully and gratefully, the Queen Esther series was finished, was completed, and would be, and I don't know if I'm going to make a compilation of it. I don't know, but I'm just going to allow the Holy Spirit to lead me in that, because that will be another project to work on. However, 30 days of intentionally seeking God and the Roots series were compiled like some months ago, and they're in a devotional format, so you could get them in a downloadable PDF format. You don't need to stress yourself to read through the whole series like on the blog gradually. You can just go and download the PDF and read them offline, and that can be found via the link on this platform. Just go to the seller shop. Don't worry, they are free. These devotionals are free, so you could just go there and you'll be redirected to my blog. Or if you don't want to stress yourself going to the seller shop, you could just go to my blog, which is Deeper Look there. Check for the book section. When you go to the book section, you check for the free books and download the books directly. If you go to the seller shop, you still be redirected to my blog. So these are the two options you can check, but don't worry, they are free and you can download them, and I'm very sure they will bless you. And also, yes, your feedbacks are important. Yes, I will appreciate your feedback. However, if you are still shy to give a feedback, I'm just pleased that this podcast blessed you. I'm so pleased that God has inspired me, and God has given me the grace and the strength to create the content that I'm creating. And I do believe that it has blessed you, and it will bless you if you decide to listen again. Do not forget to share to another person to listen, or to be great. And I also learned that you could actually download the audio. So if you could download the audios and listen to them offline. Yes. So if you're not going to listen to the outro song, this is where we say our goodbyes. But if you want to listen to the outro song, then let's continue. And by the way, it's been a long time I did outro song, so let's move on to the outro song. That's if you want to listen to my song. Let's try it on.
Because of me, they nailed you.
okay, as usual, before I play all of the song for you to listen because I like it, go and get it, and I do believe it's going to bless you. So until next time on Rosecast, stay safe and God bless. Bye bye.